Hello everyone, Daniel Kerr here. Wanted to talk a little bit about doing mashups with the Korg ESX and conversely using the stretch part and showing how to accurately do that. So in order to demonstrate these different methods of doing this, I decided to grab 3 clips. I grabbed an 8-bar clip from We Bang I'm a Monster, which is like this massive trap song, and I figured that that would be like the heavy bottom, the heavy driving force behind this little mashup, and I tried to grab a couple of things that really were not related to that at all. I grabbed 2 8-bar clips of one of my own snow metal tracks called Uberlush that has never been released, so grabbed a piece of that, and I grabbed the vocal, just the a cappella of Moloko's track, The Time Is Now. And man, I love that Moloko track. It's a really good track, but the interesting thing about all of these tracks was that I grabbed them because they were all at different tempos and they all were in different keys. Now, The Time Is Now, that's generally an A minor. The funny thing about it is that her voice, she kind of carries the voice on the harmony to the bottom, so it's almost like it's in B, right? But it's not. It's an A minor. The original track is an A minor. And the I'm a Monster track, the We Bang track, is an F sharp or F minor, like most trap and dubstep. Seems to hover between F and F sharp, and even G sometimes with some drum and bass, or D is drum and bass is in D sometimes. But it seems like the F, the F1 or F2 octave, like it really hits really hard, so a lot of bass music's in F minor. My own track was in C minor. So the interesting thing about this is that I decided, because they were all different tempos and different keys, that matching them up on the keyboard part, or excuse me, on the stretch part of the ESX, it would be nice to show you guys a few of the possibilities. Now, the interesting thing is that I was pleasantly surprised. See, the stretch part in the ESX is grainy and weird, a la late 90s Prodigy time stretch, right? And so I don't have a lot of faith in it, although you can use it. I generally like to use my Ableton Live or other DAW to grab snippets and clips and time stretch them to the proper tempo, and also pitch them up or down to the proper key. Ableton's Complex Pro setting on their Warp engine is amazing for this. And so generally, to avoid that grainy, nasty Korg ESX thing, I usually doctor and treat my samples accordingly before I even load them into the machine. And what I had expected to do was come on here and show you how terrible they're, doing it inside of their boxes compared to conditioned samples. But I was pleasantly surprised to find that Korg's ESX stretch parts, when I just went into the sample edit menu and pitched them up and down to the right menu, or to the right pitch, that it actually worked out pretty well. So here is an example of the 3 sources in their original tempo and pitch.
You're my last breath, you're a breath of fresh air to me. I am empty, so tell me you care for me.
And here is an example of the same 3 sources after I pitched them all to F minor and put them all at 75 or 150 BPMs, depending on how you look at it.
You're my last breath, you're a breath of fresh air to me. I am empty, so tell me you care for me.
Okay, now back to the original samples. If I load them into my machine without changing the pitch and the tempo and use them in their original state, then what I have to do is I have to use the stretch engine of the ESX and the sample tune function in the sample edit menu to get them to the right spot. So right away what I did is I took a pattern and I made it 8 bars and I made it 150 BPMs, and I went into each one of these samples and into the sample edit, and I stretched them all to 128 notes. Did I say 128 bars? I meant 128 notes, 8 bars. And then I went up to sample tune, and for the Moloko sample, I decided to pitch it down 4. Now, you can use the alpha dial to pitch these in sample tune menu, but you really need to hold the shift button down while you're doing that to go whole entire semitones, whole notes. So I went 4 notes down with that. I went however many notes I needed to go up with my own snow metal sample, which I believe was 7 notes up or 5 notes up. 1/5 up, and then I left the wee bang exactly as it was, because that was the groove that I was trying to match everything to. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Now here is the example of the 3 loops playing when I did everything inside the ESX from their original condition without actually doctoring them in live. Listen to this. As you can hear, it turned out okay. It wasn't so bad. It wasn't as grainy and nasty as I thought. I did find that if you pitch down to the right pitch instead of pitching up to the right pitch, that you get less graininess. All right. The fact that I was pitching down the vocal and not up the vocal is a good thing, right? Well, what I did basically was I threw together some sequences so I can show off what a mashup can be like in the Korg ESX, and I'm going to play that for you in a second. And if you go down to the description below, you will see that there is a link where you can download this sample set for free. Of course, it's not royalty-free material. It is copywritten. I have thrown some drum loops in there into the sample set so you can work with, and some synths as well in there. They're called Syn 1 through 9 and DL 1 through 9. And that is nice. You'll be able to do some really fun stuff with this, I think. And it also is a nice template for maybe loading your own mashup samples and loops in there and messing with them. The Korg ESX, the limited sample memory, stops you from being able to do a full set full of mashups unless you have another piece of gear that you can use to play sequences and while you're loading new ESX sample sets or pattern sets. That's kind of a pain in the behind. I did use a looper for a long time to accomplish just this fact. I would basically get a loop going, and I would use effects while the new ESX set was loading. But if you do have 2 Korg ESX, man, you can do some amazing mashup sets with that. So check that out. Here's my performance, snowmetal.org if you want to check out my stuff. I am Donovan James on eBay. All of my sample sets are for sale up there now. Again, all of the old ones have been condensed into one huge archived classic sample set. There's like a couple dozen sample sets in there, and they're all up on eBay for $22. You can check that out if you want. SoundCloud.com/snowmetal. I hope that your spring and warm weather has been fantastic so far, and I hope the rest of the year is blessed for all of you. And I'll talk to you soon.
So tell me you care for me. Sunshine.